Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing another video. We're going to show you how to upgrade your wraith without spending a dime. So, as you'll notice, I do have some upgrades around my rig, but they're just parts I had around, and the shocks you can see are upgraded. They're the exact same size as the stock ones, so they'll work just fine with the stock. Okay, so let's continue or get right into this. So the first thing I've done is, you can see, I've took some button head screws and I drilled a hole straight through them. So what this allows me to do is take a body clip here, stick a body clip right through it like that. Sorry, fat hand's in the way. And you're good to go. So that means you can take your body off really quickly. Okay, so the first mod people love to do is move the battery up to the front. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. Now this is a good way to do it because you're not cutting any pieces, you're not modifying anything, you're just using existing mounting points, and it goes together really fast and smooth. You can do it in like 10 minutes. So, first thing you want to do is, you want to unscrew it from the bottom, and you're going to actually unscrew it from right here too. I already done so. Mine's kind of modified. Yours may look a little different. So you're going to unscrew it and then take this battery holder out. So that's what you want. Now the back you can leave for now. So as we move around to the front, so you're also going to need to remove this piece of cage right here. So I've been running mine without this piece of cage for a long time now, and I have had zero problems. So I think it's just fine to remove it. So you just unscrew it. I've already unscrewed it, so go faster for you guys. So but you just unscrew that. That comes out right away. Okay, so now, if you'll notice right here, there's that mounting point. Now normally, that's where the speed controller goes. And normally, also the receiver tray goes right here, and the ESC goes right there. So all I've done is unscrew the ESC and moved it to the first mounting point for the radio tray. And that does just fine. If you can see, it fits perfectly in between the shock towers. So that works really well. Now, I'll show you what to do with your radio later. So now you have that hole there, and you have this moved up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your battery tray, and you're going to drill a hole right there, and right there, at the top of it. So make sure also that you drill on the opposite side of these. See the plastic part holding this Velcro on? Drill on the side that it links through up here, the empty side. Now that'll have to do with the clearance on the body. Okay, so now you take this, you stick this in here, and if you'll notice, it fits just perfectly in between the cages. So, turn this over. Now, that old ESC mounting screw, that's what you're going to use to mount the bottom of the battery. So if you'll notice, it happens to line up perfectly with that screw head right there. So you can just stick a screw straight in there, and it should go straight into your battery mount right there. So that works really good. Okay, for the rest of it, what you got to do is, for the top part, that's why we drill these holes, you're going to zip tie it. And just use some little zip ties, and you're going to go through this hole. It's hard to do one-handed, but you're going to go through that hole, and then up and around this cage right here, so come back and then zip tie it to there. And that's pretty much it. Then you're solid, ready to run. And as far as moving batteries in and out of here, it actually works quite well. You can just slide it right in, like that. And then you can just Velcro it on. Sorry, the camera's not focusing. There we go. You can just slide it right on. And another thing you're going to have to do when you do this is you're going to have to cut the inner body right here a little bit. But you don't even notice it when you look at it. You can't even notice. So that's how you do that. Now, as far as shocks go, I've already mentioned in my other video that I did raise them up with the extended rod ends that they give you in the thing, and that helps just a little bit with clearance. So I suggest doing that. That'll help your crawling significantly, and you already have it. So do that. Moving to the back here, if you notice too, I have mounted the shocks on the trailing arms. This has worked out pretty good for me. It does have a lot of play now. See that? So that's kind of a bummer. But as far as articulation and flex go, it's worth it to me. So how to do this is, if you take I think it's the same exact sheet of plastic that those rod extenders are on. There's some inner rod ends, like the part that you pop into the rod end, and they're big. And they just so happen to fit almost perfectly into those little holes on the trailing arm, on the lower link. And so what you do to make it fit the rest of the way is I just wrapped it once around with a piece of electrical tape so that it fit right in there. And that was good to go. And mounting your shock, when it comes stock, at least on mine, it was mounted right here. Just by moving it forward, you get a little more clearance too, and that helps, I think, with better shock geometry. So that's pretty much all the upgrades to the truck I've done. But for the tires, I mentioned before how it gets it de-beads itself. Oh, this is the wrong tire. This one I haven't glued. You'll notice, see, it comes right off. If you'll notice, it just like this is like straight out of the box what it'll be like. Just comes straight off, just like that. So you're gonna have to fix that by gluing it. But I already have another video about how to glue tires, so you can watch that to do that. Now let's take this off, and it does that because these are not good bead locks. Normally that you wouldn't have that problem, but these bead locks aren't very nice. So we take this off, and another thing about this truck is it loosens wheel nuts pretty fast. So pretty much every time you go run, you gotta tighten them up. So these. Now I want to take this apart here really quickly to show you how to cut the foam to make it work really well. Just going to okay, so now we've done that. The bead should come apart right just like that. It's hard to do one-handed, man. Okay, so take that out, take out the foam. Okay, so this is what I've done to the foam. You can see I've cut grooves in it to soften it up. And this helps tremendously too. When you're up on a rock, kind of like this, in a sense it'll act as like a catch and get you up over that rock on the tire. So that is a good thing to do, and you can imagine how to do that. It'd be super easy. All you do is mark it this way, then mark it this way, then like this in half each time, and that helps a lot with crawling. So I suggest doing that as well. And that's pretty much everything. Now I've made a mess of the thing, but I thank you guys